I'm in Oregon visiting my friend Doug.
My name is Doug Silton, and this was my first ultra.
Who lives out here. His house, which he is just building, is fairly unique. He had a fire and it burned down, but he's got quite the setup, and he's been curious about ultras for a while. So we're just gonna go into the house here, and you can see why, you can see why it's fairly unique. If you look out the window, it's not a clear one today, but that is Mount Hood. And he's been looking at that mountain for quite a number of years, never really visited it. So my friend Dax, who is another ultra runner, and I are good buddies of Doug, and we are gonna see if he can survive doing the entire Timberline Trail, so that when he's looking out his windows in the future, he can look and go, I ran all the way around that mother. We're just getting a little bit of trail chocolate every time we put the camera on Doug in his little short shorts.
I know.
He starts pumping. You have new people on the trail. Sometimes there is a sacrifice that needs to be done on the trail. Oh my gosh, and here's a sacrificial rock right here. They're paying the ultimate price on the sacrificial altar of Mount Hood. But that's just what you gotta do. I'm in Oregon. I'm here at my buddy's place, and you might be asking why I've got this completely awesome, custom-made, sweet vest on made of official business Burning Man ribbons. It's because my good friend Doug,
Kerry Ward, official business Burning Man 2018 champion.
So Doug came to Burning Man with me last year, and he is a friend who, like my pal Dax over there, is ultra curious, and we're gonna do a run around Mount Hood. So this is the gear shop. We've got Sarah and Beaudry over there. And we've got Huxley. What are you doing, Huxley?
Setting up my shop of Pokemon.
He is setting himself some Pokemon cards. Doug got a boatload of gear and some food. Dax has probably the clear bucket. He's taking on a bunch of stuff. And a bunch of bags filled with crap like we do. And we're gonna do Timberline Trail starting tonight with the idea of finishing in daylight tomorrow.
Now we have the official check-in process. Is Kerry Ward here? Kerry Ward?
That'd be me right here.
Oh, Kerry Ward, you're number 2036, representing the miles you just ran across Tennessee. For your Timberline Ultra Multiverse, Doug's a Virgin, September 2nd to 3rd, 2020.
Oh my God.
Take a safety pin that you gave to me last year at Burning Man.
We've got numbers.
Oh, you get just one.
Oh, just get one.
Oh, yeah, you just get one.
All I need is one.
Okay, Dax Hawk. Dax Hawk,
This
number
is-
87.
This is memorable. Laminated.
Here, choose a safety pin.
Laminated.
Bibs.
Lizzie wants one herself. but-
Doug Silton, Doug's a Virgin, first Ultra. Man, I hope I come in the top 3.
We hope so too.
Yeah, we've set things up very advantageously for Doug to finish.
Podium finish. The important thing is that we finish. So, hey Doug, what's the longest one you've done? Was that the run you did with me?
I don't know, it was like 15.
So we did one last winter that was probably 10, 12 miles, something like that.
I did 14 the other day. I did Timothy Lake for 14.
Okay, 14. So we are doing 2.5 times his longest run
Woo!
tomorrow in technical terrain. And that'll be an exciting deal. And Dax and I have unfinished business there too. As
He routed on a zigzag.
we got denied by snow and weather and fires and all kinds of stuff. So now we're gonna do it. And I've been around the Timberline Trail once in the counterclockwise direction. We're starting clockwise tomorrow to make it a little different. There we go, Timberline Ultra. I can't believe we got numbers.
By the way, I lost 3 toenails. I don't know if I told you guys this. I lost the 3rd one last month in Tahiti. So the shoes worked great. I just didn't have them tight enough for some of it.
All right, so we are getting some sandwiches ready for the trail. It's all new. Doug is putting some bacon together.
Is there a camera on?
There is, right there.
Oh, I was like, dude, you're narrating this as if you're like cool.
So
Harry's really changed the way he communicates
we're
it to his friends.
we're thinking somewhere between, most likely, I'm calling it 16 to 22 hours. That's what we're dealing with.
One piece of
My
cheese
goal is
per
under
sandwich.
24 for a 42 miler.
One cheese per sandwich, you reckon?
Dyslexic numbers.
Maybe two. There's a bottom. So, we're getting stuff ready, packing up, heading out tonight. Other things. Dax and Doug are some of the best swing dancing and West Coast dancing and just dancing people in the planet. And Doug also is doing a lot of video stuff. So we got this big setup here. We're gonna shoot a bit of stuff before we head out tonight on the green screen, which is why I'm wearing this and these swoopy non-running shoes for a bit.
Okay. Put your kids to bed.
Get the hat on.
All right, it's about 10:50. Boys are pretty much ready. Been sitting in front of the fake fire. Bag packed. We are gonna drive out to Timberline Lodge, probably start around midnight, see if we can finish. Before midnight tomorrow. I'm guessing we'll hit somewhere in the order of 80,000 to 90,000 steps.
So the day of the race, we were going to leave close to midnight. I was up early. I went and picked Carrie from the airport. We spent the whole day together. We started shooting a concept video with Dax and Carrie and I, and in like green screen outfits. And like it was a long day ahead of time. Lay down for like an hour nap, which I didn't sleep, and then we packed up all the food and said goodbye to Sarah and the kids and took off. So it was already a long day going into it. Doing it again, I would make sure I have a lazy day, and then I would want to leave more around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. instead of midnight. I'd rather give myself more time than less time to finish that last river in the dark. If I had prepped more and I was more running active instead of hiking active, less time would have been fine on this one for me.
Doug just sprayed, the bug spray came over into my direction. We are here. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the mountain. And we are going to be,
There it is.
now that Dax is free.
Oh, let me out of the back seat.
It
Got
is
a good groin stretch with you straddling right between my legs in the front seat.
11:45. We're gonna be back by
Oh man, it's so
7
warm.
p.m.
Okay, so my buddy Dax and I were supposed to run this actually in September. And then there was a pandemic you may have heard of, and I decided that I would still be prepping for this, but I was waiting to hear from Dax, who he and his wife Sarah and their kids moved up to Boise. And we're trying to figure out the best time for him to easily just drive the 6 hours, hang out with me, and go for this run around the mountain. And as you know, this little run. And Dax was invited, so he started his first ultra experience with Carrie, and just social running. Then he did a 50K and wanted 100K and a 200, and he did the Triple Crown, which is 3 200-mile races back to back. And Dax was gonna like babysit me and take me around this mountain. We were gonna hang out and have some guy time. And he got invited by Michael McKnight, who's been winning all these ultras, and a few other people, and it's sponsored by Kogala, to do this 300-mile race. And Dax was like, dude, if I'm doing that, which I want to do, I can't do the run with you when we're supposed to. What if we move it up to like next week? And at this point, the farthest I'd run was 14 miles around Timothy Lake. It destroyed my legs. I was hiking, but I can't run. I told him, I was like, dude, I can't run more than 14 miles. And so I was ready to bail out, and Dax said, no, I'll come in next week. We're gonna walk a lot of it. We're gonna get around this. And that's when Carrie was like, dude, I will fly down from Vancouver. I'll take the COVID risk, and I will join you guys, and I'll vlog your run around the mountain. So Carrie, my thanks to you for getting on a plane and flying to Portland during a pandemic. And so Carrie vlogged the entire thing, and we went to Burning Man the next day. And as I'm crewing him on his ultra through the desert, somebody took his bag where he left it as a marker in the desert. And all the footage that you're going to see, or that you're seeing here, was sort of gone.
There was nothing out there. It was just a wasteland. And I was running and trying to figure out how to get back to the exact same spot, knowing that I was taking a slight risk leaving it out in the middle of the desert, out in the middle of nowhere. So I took the pack, I left it. I ran out maybe 5 minutes before I got back. So someone has taken my backpack. Hopefully it's just someone friendly who thought it was moop, matter out of place, and took off with it. Bad news is it's got my GoPro, so I'm recording this on my phone now.
Like, we thought it was lost forever. So the only record of this Timberline run was going to be the drone footage and my photos. Because when I started this run, I've been traveling the last few years with my 360 camera, my GoPro, my phone, like vlogging everything. And going into this run, my decision was to survive. That was pretty much it. And knowing that my two buddies are going to help me get through this mountain trek, I didn't bring my vlogging gear. We just packed into our bags the calories we needed to go around the mountain, the extra layers I might need because I get cold real easily. And so Carrie vlogged the whole thing, and fortunately, check out his vlog on the Burning Man Ultra that he did, and you'll see how he got the camera back. But the footage is here, and this is what you're watching.
All right, it's gonna be official. We're starting the Strava. Doug's first ultra.
Buddies. Mile 0. Look at that mountain.
He's feeling all fresh and
all frisky. And
frisky.
all set,
We'll see what it's like in 18 hours. All right, this will be good. Timberline Lodge right up here.
So the first night was amazing. We started right before midnight, had a ton of energy, and
Doug has already discovered the joy of wearing running shoes with gaiters, having them all buckled up, and within the first 2 miles, you've got rocks in your shoe somehow. So Dax just had one. I've got sand in my shoe, but my shoes have ventilation holes in them now. I got some old ones, so walking through the sand filled them up. But it is inevitable. You're gonna get crap in your shoes. You have to put up with it. As long as it's not too unbearable, just leave it and stretch out the time before you have to take your shoes off and empty your socks.
so these are my Ultra Olympus shoes. A similar pair in green took me up Kilimanjaro, and this pair took me around Timberline. They still got some good life left in them, but I'd highly recommend these. They've got a Vibram sole, and they're super comfy. They handle the water crossings pretty well, and I would use them again.
If you want to try it, with all these river crossings, at night it's kind of hard to see. It's just a step and a step. It wasn't bad. Two steps, one and then go. Nicely done.
Fuck yeah.
So we are on these huge washes where there always is a different trail. Last time I came through here, the trail was not over on this side, but we're boulder skipping and avoiding water, and it's just almost like volcanic ash. Probably is volcanic ash, actually. So avoiding it. 6 miles in and about 2 hours. We've been emptying shoes and we're off again. We're about 7.5 miles in and it's about 3 a.m.
So the nighttime was amazing. You got to see the forest at night, got to see some toads and
He's
frogs
moving.
and tree life. And
He's on the move. He's climbing up. All right, I'm just gonna lick your back if you don't mind. Look at that, he likes it. Yeah. What a charming little... Oh! Scoping out a way across the river here. It's always changing, so it's a bit different however you end up doing it. This is the biggest one we've seen so far, so whether we can do it without getting wet or not remains to be seen. Well, this is what we're looking at. I don't think it gets better than this. All right, Dax is going for it. No! And he's across.
1 foot wet. Got it, Doug.
There you go. Nicely done. Just straight across. Very good. Woo! It's funny, everybody got 1 foot wet. I got this one wet.
Got my left.
That one. Oh well.
Oh, good.
That was fun. Good job, man.
Nice job, Doug. Good job, boy.
So we got a little note saying that there is impassable and unsafe parts due to extensive rock and mud slides. Erosion's made it impossible to maintain this trail safe for stock use, but hikers are okay. So I guess we count as that today. Welcome to Ramona Falls. So last time I was here, I left my sunglasses hanging on this rope here. Let's see if they're still there. Imagine that. Nope, they're not.
So Kogalla, who sponsors my buddy Dax, I bought one of their batteries and body packs. It works so well at night. But here's the lesson that I learned. When you have your battery pack and specialty light, don't use that battery to charge your phone, and don't loan it to Carrie to charge his phone. I love you, Carrie. But what I ended up doing was having to use the body lamp at the lowest setting, and it like pretty much was giving out by the time we got back from the run. So carry an extra battery backup with you, and keep the specialty battery for the specialty light so you can see at night, because everything takes longer than you think it does, and you may not be done during the daylight when you think you're gonna be done during the daylight.
So Doug rolled his ankle a second time. So he's got the poles out right now, so feeling a little better with those. But the only thing you can really do when that happens and you're out somewhere in the middle of the night, way away from any road, is keep going, unless you're really, really hurting. So by the time we stop, it'll be a lot less of a deal than it is right now, which will be good. We're about a third of the way right now in about 5 hours, 15 minutes or something like that. So making good progress.
So I was feeling really, really crappy at the end of the first night. All I wanted to do was lay down and take a 15-minute nap or a 5-minute nap or a 1-minute nap, and Carrie and Dax were like, no, you're not gonna do it. And I thought I was gonna throw up. My ankle was killing me. And I'd bundled up, and Carrie and Dax were wearing shorts and like, you know, a light jacket. And I took off the long underwear I had on my shorts, and that was amazing. Like I'd been overheating and it was making me sick. So as soon as I took off the long undies, it was like this rush of like fresh air, and I felt so much better right away. So that was absolutely amazing that I got to feel that horribleness in order to feel how much better I felt right after.
They're coming across. There's a little bit of dawn in the sky, but look at the size. I guess you can't see it too well. The size of this tree that has just fallen over. It is freaking huge. Wow, it has pulled up all the rocks and dirt around it. That is one big root ball that has fallen. Wow. two-log bridge here we're crossing.
Doug,
Doing good. Nice work. Beautiful.
that slack line at your house
Look at him. He's in the zone.
Should I fill up water here or somewhere else?
Should you what, water?
Fill up water.
Got a little bit of light now. That's the moon up there. Doug is crossing on a little log, and he's got his poles to help out, so hopefully that'll work him out. He's doing a little bit of suffering because of his ankle. Making it happen. Look at that. Making it. Good job, buddy. We have this sublime light coming through from the morning, and we are ascending a big ridge, which is going to take a little time for us to get up. Doug is soldiering on, which is good.
And everything was just lit up and majestic. And then daybreak hit, and it was just like this rush of energy because the sunlight's coming out.
These guys have just stopped to pee on a tree and pay homage to the
epic color.
sunrise. Don't know if it'll show up well in this video, but it's
It's a moon.
sublime.
And it, like, you sort of forget that you were just moving for 6 hours without stopping, and it's like a whole new rush of energy.
And we're done.
So we have just reached a rather confusing point. So Cutoff Trail and Timberline Trail is that way. Cutoff Trail is that way. But Timberline Trail is also that way
And that way.
and that way. So which way is the right way?
All the ways, Carrie.
No, the Cutoff Trail is where you want to go. This is last time I came around. It's very confusing. I got down here and I saw Timberline Trail this way, and I went that way for a little while before I figured out that things were not as they should be.
Which is around the mountain.
It is just a lovely section of trail. Doug is taking a picture of the natural staircase of roots as we go up. We just came across the first person actually moving on the trail. We've seen a few people camping, including some who'd just gotten up near the river crossings, but that was our first person, and we are just about halfway around the mountain. So if you start at midnight, you can get halfway around the mountain and have the trail to yourself. It's also worth mentioning that we have now exceeded Doug's longest day in terms of mileage, and we are
And Doug.
closing in on halfway. I haven't checked mileage in a bit, but probably 16, maybe 16 and a half, 17 out of 38. So long ridge, and then we'll be in an alpine area.
17 miles in, I got it.
17, there you go. Look at that. Wow, good morning.
Hello, Robin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning indeed. All right, we are filling up in the stream here. There's a filter in Dax's bottle, and this stream is about as
there is.
pure as you could get, except for the bear pooping up there.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
Oh yeah.
Does that bear have a green shirt?
Look at this waterfall. This is gorgeous. Dougie's gonna stop and take a fisheye picture. Good?
Oh yeah. This is like some Japanese garden shit right here, guys.
This is, man.
Look at that picture.
That's how they designed it right there. There it is. Look at that. Getting into the alpine areas. This is, looks like a little tarn or lake that pops out sometimes, and we've got scree fields, sun popping up, and the peak right there. What a lovely, lovely day. What a beauty. Wow, a bicycle on the trail.
Is that one wheel?
One wheel, yeah, I got a brake on it.
Oh, you're unicycling the trail. That's awesome.
I got a bad back, so it helps.
Wow. That is one I would not expect to see out here today.
Right.
Running is happening. Downhill momentum.
Want to lead?
Sure. Nice. And no pole pole.
Pole pole! Candisha chupi. Duende!
What?
This is
No.
a magical section.
This was absolutely gorgeous. These trees were just, I mean, you can see from this drone shot here. And we couldn't figure out if the forest had burned in the fire. We couldn't figure out if, like, what was going on, but it was just a majestic white tree forest.
Just white ghost trees that have been either taken out by the pine beetle or burned. Look at that.
Or avalanche? No.
Not avalanche, they'd all be falling over. Oh my word. And we come to another good crossing. Doug's going high. Dax is coming low. We are just going through the silver giants here, and the scenery is ridiculous. How you doing, Doug?
Yeah, buddies. Check out that scenery.
Wow. Take a minute to say about brooks. Now, brooks insoles have all these little holes in them, but you think, oh great, drains out water. They are the perfect capture device for little pebbles. So it's ridiculous. I'm constantly kicking them out, but I think I'm actually done with these shoes after this run today. Gotta get something to replace them, but sole's not bad. But brooks, man, your uppers self-destruct. Every pair that I've had have done the same thing.
Running this type of stuff, I feel, is because I was following Carrie. And there was a part of me, I was like, dude, if Carrie can do it, then I can do it. It's just ridiculous that he could do something.
For me, it was watching you run Bigfoot while I crew you, and watching Carrie pace you. And hanging out Carrie in sessions. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing to do.
It looks like it would be fun.
I mean, the first one destroyed me so badly that
You're 50, 100, or 2.
no, I'm talking about cactus to clouds like that. wrecked my body for a while. I don't think I've ever been that tore up.
Which one?
From the first race that Carrie took, or not race, run. The
Took
one
him up
San Jacinto.
Oh, the
from
street
Palm
one?
Springs, 30 miles, 11,000 feet.
That was just, up was fine, like as fine as that would be. I felt really
Did
good.
you guys run or walk?
Walk
Whoa.
up. It's 11,000 foot
It's
hill.
like,
Okay.
it's like grade
So a
5
lot
one
of
mountain
what you guys
climb.
are doing is walking.
But
Walking up, running down, dancing down.
That makes a lot
dancing
more
down
sense.
the mountain.
But like, how the fuck do you run 200 miles? So every time you were coming into a aid station, you were running because it was downhill?
No, because the aid station, we want to give people the illusion.
Okay, that was I didn't want to say
And you
that.
also know that you're about to sit down in a chair for a few minutes, so it's like, I can run this part.
Yeah, I did not want to say that part out loud. Okay. So it's a lot of like just like this.
A
A little bit more than this.
little bit more than this, yeah.
But like if
Like-
I were to sign up for a 50 or 100,
If you
I could do this.
did this on all the uphills and did a mile jog on the flat and the down and walked occasionally on the flat and down, that would be really good.
Well, fuck, I'm in. That's totally different.
Gateway drug right here.
Ultra
Doug.
curious, went to ultra
Fuck
doing.
Doug was feeling like he'd never recover in the middle of the night. Hurt
I
his,
know.
hurt his
Carrie and I were
ankle.
getting the gurney out.
He wanted to sleep on the side of the trail. He was already planning a nap.
Is that what
We
you
weren't
call
even
it?
halfway done. And now he's running
Oh, I was ready to
and feeling good. But we told him,
Ups and downs.
even though you're feeling up, you can count on another down or two by the time you get back to the car.
Maybe a few more ankle rolls.
Now,
Could put some soy sauce on them.
quick.
you will just be legitimately
Proud of you.
very weary when you get close. Smelling the barn will help. So if you're running a marathon, you know, a slow marathon is 5 hours. A decent marathon is 3 to 4 hours.
What marathon?
A decent marathon.
World class is 1 minute 59 seconds 58.
What is it?
Hour 58.
Really?
No.
That
30 miles
that-
an hour? I mean,
Yeah.
50 miles an hour?
Elliot Kipchoge, under ideal conditions on the Nike project, with a
Was
set of
2:01.
drafting
was
people pacing, accomplished a
2:01.
sub 2,
Saw a video on that.
a 1:59, like 42 or something.
No, a Nike video was 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
There's two of them. That's the breaking
Oh, that's the
breaking 2, and then that was the new one, the Vaporfly one.
Oh,
And they did hit it.
that's
Same guy?
Elliot
the
Kipchoge, yeah,
gentleman in breaking 2.
same guy.
He is holy.
He's unbelievable.
He is, his demeanor, the way when he runs, it's like the epitome of
It's just pure beauty.
pure beauty and focus. You know how hard it is inside, and the way, and when he speaks, it's just so humble, and the way he lives, so humble. Love it.
If any of us tried to keep his pace that he does for 2 hours straight and 26 miles, for more than a quarter mile, maybe not even a quarter mile,
I don't even think
we
I
would be
could run
dying.
that for an eighth of
I
a
could
mile.
one wheel his pace.
You could do it for an eighth of a mile.
What is his pace?
They're like
Low 4-minute miles the
low
whole way.
4-minute miles. For 26 minutes.
Wait, what was the pace?
Low 4-minute miles
Yeah, like
Ah.
4-minute, 20-second miles.
for
Is
the
that downhill or level?
No,
level. And it just looks effortless.
Yeah.
He's just relaxed, smiling, going.
You loved it, right?
Wow, he is.
Or do the job.
He is an artist.
Okay.
When in breaking 2, like the other 2 people were
World class.
world class, but they paled in spiritual comparison and athletic ability. It
One was the world record half marathon holder,
yeah.
and I forgot the other one. But they started to fall back from the 2 pace.
Now, I know
About
this is not
halfway.
live, but are all the top people from high altitude areas?
Virtually everybody who is a world, like the world elite in the marathon, is of East African descent.
Yeah.
Not necessarily from
like the Kenyan.
Kenyan, Ethiopian. Yes. So Doug is now plotting to enter the ultra world step by step, following Dax's footsteps, which were a 30, basically a 50K up and down San Jacinto with me, then a 50-mile race, then the Kodiak, right?
Yep, Kodiak 100.
I mean, if I got views like this.
Which you do, my friend.
Oh, shizzle.
From your house.
Then he's thinking 100. Getting ahead of himself, but it's good to put it out there.
It is.
Get the 50 scheduled for next year. That'll have to mean some running.
Okay.
I mean, running between now and then a decent bit.
Did you have cold?
Very good. Doug just did his third twist.
Third twist, same ankle.
I got to witness the full bending and everything. I saw it in 120. 120. Dad's decision.
Coming to another relatively large water crossing coming down in these big loose embankments. And if it's clear water, we might get a little extra, but these fast running ones are often not very clear, so we'll see.
Just filming me. Bam!
What we've got here is a Mount Hood standoff.
Moving forward.
This is pretty cool. I think this is the crossing I missed last time.
You see on that rock?
He makes it. We have found a nice stream and we are going to do something besides fill up water, which is going to feel very nice indeed. That is the dirty foot. Woo! That is cold and it feels extremely refreshing. Ugh. Look at that. Actually needs a bit of scrubbing to remove all the dirt. We are strategically refilling our water supply from above rather than below. Oh man, that feels good.
Dude, I am so jealous.
Heading up again to gain a little altitude. Cross through one of these big gullies that comes down with water, and the scenery continues to be
Incredible.
superlative. It is amazing. And if you're thinking about doing your own little ultra, this is not a bad one to choose because it gets you in and it commits you. There's not much choice once you've started.
Lots of water though.
Lots of water. As long as you have the wherewithal just to keep going, like Doug so far has so far, you can get through it. We got maybe 14 miles to go-ish, something like that. Closing in on a marathon's distance, which is 26 miles, at least probably 11, 12 miles farther than he's ever gone. And he lives still.
So we crossed this one river, and all the crossings are really real world, like, holy shit. Like, if you fall in or anything on this trail, you're not getting out of this trail. You have to finish it or you're gonna get like a helicopter like evac you out. So we cross over this one river that actually wasn't that bad. And we look up the hill and we're like,
sweet snow cave. So we're gonna go investigate it, maybe check it out, take a couple pictures, see what it looks like in there.
let's go check it out, right? Because this isn't a real race. We're just buddies hanging out, going a super freaking far distance. And so we went up to this glacier that this waterfall had been carving out this whole intersection. And we crawled up through the glacier. And it was just like this roaring rapid of water, torrential, and these rainbows inside. It was a super cool experience. So when you're running, make sure that you actually take time to stop and smell the roses, or stop and explore the glacier snow cave.
See if we can get into it. That's cool. I'm excited. I love investigating all the little side things on a route. Check this out. Super cool. Wow. Holy mackerel. This is cool. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at this. This is freaking unreal. Wow. Coming right off the top. This is full tilt for sure. Look at this. Unreal. Freaking unreal. This is amazing. Wow. Woo! Wow, it is just dripping and misty and sweaty. This is unbelievably cool. Unbelievably cool. Woo! So here's what we're looking at. This crazy architecture. It is a snow bat cave for sure. We tuck under, scramble along, come up here. Dude, is this not the place? What a great adventure. Have you ever seen a place like this? It's amazing. This is amazing. We need a threesome picture here. Get a picture of me surfing. I want to surf it. All right, this is officially one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. This is such a fine thing. If you just, the whole thing is going to come down at some point. But look at this. It is a magical, magical cavern. Ah, I love this. So cool. Doug has to do the traditional, I just did my first marathon dance.
Nice.
He is rubbing his nipples, attracting the sunshine and admiration. Now he is posing for all in awe and dabbing. Perfect. So remember that when you complete your first marathon.
Nipples. The other thing, I'm tired.
Offerings, offerings. So I've been on this Timberline Trail twice in the past. First time with Dax, we had to abort because of crazy bad weather and snow and fires and weird stuff all going on, which had closed a bunch of the trail and made some of it impassable. The next time I ran it on my own on a day kind of like this, and one thing I'm noticing today is, holy crap, this is a dusty trail. If there's several of you moving along together, sometimes even there's dust in front of you. So this little section we're in right now is not so bad, but there's some sections where it's like fog in the air.
If Dax and I had done this run in September, not only would Carrie not have gone with us most likely, but the fires that hit Oregon actually closed down the trail, and it was just, everything was just all smoke filled in. So listening to the universe and going when the opportunity presented itself was really important for us. And I'm so glad that like I was able to listen and be present in that moment and decide, yeah, I can just keep moving for 43 miles. And going into this, like I'd never run more than 14 miles. And my thought was the David Goggins approach. If I can just keep moving, if I can just keep walking forward one foot after the other, which is really hard when you roll your ankle 6 times in one run, which I did. But you just keep going and you'll make it. And that's the mentality that got me through these ups and downs and highs and lows and hallucinations and everything else I went through during this run.
This is one of the more radical crossings. You can see the path is just completely, more or less gone, eroding away. And there's no fantastic way across that looks easy. I think probably a jump right there is the way to go. I will go investigate while we wait for... Are you gonna do your socks or are you gonna wait for Doug?
I don't want to do my socks before.
I think you can get across. I'm gonna go check it out. This is quite the embankment. Just sliding gravel and such. I think this looks like the best spot. So I'm gonna hit that. Like that just starts a nice little slide. Gonna try and find the best way, which I think right here. And there we go. Let's see what everyone else works out. Nicely done, Senor Dax.
Senor Carrie, who has the eye of the tiger.
Do it! And she makes it. Doug! Good job.
Thanks for going up that way.
We'll give you the fist bump for it.
I'll take the elevation over that.
Okay, so this river crossing was the hardest. I just rolled my ankle again. So ouch! What number it was, my left ankle. The total was 6 times spraining my left ankle and twice on my right over this course. And it's all feeling better now, but yeah, jumping like across these rocks was freaking scary.
Look at this. We are coming around and seeing
The mountain.
when she comes.
Comes.
Yet another view of Mount Hood. It looks so different from this neighborhood from the other one.
Doesn't have a hood on right now from this angle.
So Doug he's doing well actually. He's grinding right now. He's basically doing what he needs to do just to keep moving. And he says he's okay. So we're not hassling him. He's just gonna keep moving up behind us. I might find a place to put
There's some shade right now. Not there.
put the drone up again
Maybe
at
there's
some
some
point.
shade there? No.
So Dax and I are just kind of pushing forward. Doug's back a little bit. This is the point of the day where it starts to get a little dark for the first timers. Like, oh my word, I'm still 10 miles away and I'm tired, I'm hot, haven't had a reasonable meal. What the hell am I doing?
Chafing everywhere.
Chafing.
So, as a proud Metro, what I didn't know is that ultramarathon runners don't like trim their body hair. And the reason for this is so that they don't chafe. So thanks to Dax's glide stick and then Desitin for the next week after I was done with the run, that was like one of the more painful things besides muscle soreness was, yeah, that was a real thing. So double tracking a lot of it the last 10 miles because, oh man, that hurt.
So, but this is how you make it to the next level. He's doing great.
Yeah,
Back there soldiering through.
Soldiering.
We'll stop and wait once we find a bit of shade.
Oh, I see a Karen.
Yeah, right there. Big one. For the bees.
Yeah, we've attracted.
Doug is moving.
Sweet ass attracted.
You guys are so slow.
I know when we're sitting down, it's hard to compete with that.
I'm in first place, by the way, by about
Nice work.
3 feet.
Look at you in front of Mount Hood.
Not a race, Polly. We're gonna fucking finish this.
Call it. Speaking of crap,
too.
All right, let's go. We're steadily moving up. Getting to the alpine section. Doug is caterpillaring on. Hello, how are you guys?
Hi. How you doing? So far, so good.
That's a good thing.
What about yourself?
Very good. You got a long downhill.
Yeah.
So we are in the proper alpine now. No trees. And our trail is marked by these huge cairns that used to be 4x4s, but they have been eroded away by the wind. Look at this. Used to be square, and now it is just hammered by the elements up here. Doug is still pushing forward. Steady pace. Gonna get this thing done. This up here, Doug, is probably the high point elevation wise of the whole thing. Doug is pretty much out of water. This is a little bit of a dry spell we've been having here.
So I drank over 12 liters of water on this trek, on this ultra. And I kept filling up when we got to streams and we had the filtration systems to make the water safe, but there was it was just nonstop. I'm drinking. And I thought that was part of my mentality of getting through this was just keep hydrating and your body will do its thing. But there's one section, we're getting to the alpine section, and it's just massive desolation, higher altitude, big boulders. And I saw I could have gone left and down, and Dax and Carrie were up ahead. I was doing my thing, powering through, wanted to be left alone for a little bit. And I see this little water spring source, and I was like, Dax, Carrie, water. And they're like, no, come this way. And I didn't realize they hadn't seen it, but I was out of water. And instead of stopping and getting the water I needed, I had to go about another mile in the scorching sun. Dax gave me the rest of his little emergency bottle, but I was not happy. And we finally made it up to the no drone fly zone way at the top of Hood. And we found this stream and it was so parched. Next time what I would do is bring a 3-liter bag to keep filling instead of a 2. So that was a big mistake for me personally. Dax and Carrie didn't drink that much water. They were fine, but I went through 12 liters that day.
But that's over because we are just coming to a nice little stream coming from those patches of snow up there. So looks like, how many liters do you think you had? 7 liters? today? A lot. Oh, this is good. That's a spot right there. Well, we used that stream as a little rest stop. Drank some water, ate some food, cleaned our feet, washed our socks. Yeah, pumped a bunch of water. Oh, look at this.
Drank some more water.
Snow. Dirty snow. There's something clean underneath. That all looks a little bit dirty. Not good eating snow. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Probably either way goes. One goes along the ridge on the top, the other one goes around the bottom. So choose your poison.
Well, I'm seeing kind of like you go straight and then it kind of comes around it. So I'm not
I think we're coming to one of the more spectacular overlooks here shortly. But man, just looking up at that big glaciated monster next to us was pretty special. So Doug is on a mission to finish before 8.
7:56, yeah.
7:56. As long as we keep moving, we'll probably even beat that. That's the thinking right now. But might have to maybe have one meal and clean shoe stop, but maybe not as well. Might try. Good save, good save. Nicely done. Might need to try and fly the drone again. We got denied as it's a no drone zone, I guess. Wow, look at this. Holy mackerel, look at that.
Look at that melting water.
It is coming down. What do you think, friend?
This is fucking amazing.
Dax.
Yeah, it doesn't
Photos aren't gonna do it justice. This is, you have to be here.
Look at that. All right, Doug, talk to me. What are you experiencing?
I just hallucinated a dog coming to visit me. I have 8 miles to go, and I'm gonna make it.
Did you just have a little micro nap while I was flying the drone?
Yeah, I think I passed out for about 2 minutes.
And you're feeling a little lightheaded or
A
no?
little lightheaded. Hallucinating a dog. I don't remember that. So I'm glad Carrie was vlogging this because I get to hear myself say some really interesting things. So Carrie, thanks for vlogging that. So I have that memory now of hallucinating that a dog was coming to visit me. It's been a long day and it's pretty darn hot out. I've already gone through 9 liters of water.
9 liters. That's a pretty good bunch. So, but he's surviving, and we've got, you know, somewhere between 10 and 15K to go. We left a little before midnight and then just kept going the whole way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So just steady, constant.
So one of the biggest energy boosts that I got was we only saw a few people on the trail, but the people that we passed were backpacking Timberline Trail, which is the common thing to do. You do it between 3 and 6 days. And so these people are, you know, backpacking maybe 2, 3, 4 hours a day with all their heavy gear, and they set up camp and then go the next day. And every time we'd pass these people, like jogging by, they're like, "You're doing this in 1 day?" And we're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Get it." Like, "Thanks." So we just, you know, had our masks on, we kept running, and it felt really good to get that boost of like people seeing that we're doing this in 1 day when it's gonna take them like 5. Not that it's bad, because you can really enjoy, like I think it'd be a great way to spend 5 days, but it's sort of badass to just do it in one fell swoop.
Got it, got it.
Go kill it, you guys. It is a waste because you still have to, that whole area of the ski resort, meadows.
Up.
Oh, we're going to meadows.
But really,
Yeah. So we have made it down to the bottom of this thing. It appears we've got a little more distance than we thought. Last time I did it, it measured out at 38. This one might actually be 42, so we might have the extra 4 miles. So maybe we've got 8 miles to go, 7.5 miles to go. But we were up there on that ridge. And now we gotta cross this body of water. I think they're conspiring to get a little bit more water set aside for the rest of the hike. Well-marked crossing with cairns. Quite a lot of flow, but it's a nice, finely engineered wooden bridge. Look at that. We'll go around this way. How you guys doing? Very well.
There's no letting fear rule the day like that.
Dax is talking about his ultra running origin story, which started with watching the Bigfoot 200 video.
By Senior Ward.
And he thought, wow, I'll be doing that in a couple of years. And then just set that in his mind. And then it actually came to pass. So it's a great example of putting something out there and working hard to get it done. Then he went out and smoked the Bigfoot 200 course in fine fashion when he did his debut 200. Was that your third ultra or fourth?
It was my third. 50, 100 is my third ultra.
50 mile, 100 mile, 200. So he's doing 400 next. Actually, he did the other two 200, so he did a 600. So 1200.
The Triple Crown, man, that will take a bite out of your life.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yep.
It knocked the wind out of my running spirit for a good 6 months.
That's a lot to do.
But that was mainly because we went through so much transition. We moved, shut down our business. Like, I just took my planned 1 month rest and it turned into a continual thing. But I was okay with that. I felt like I had done enough running to last me months of satisfaction.
He did the Bigfoot.
Okay, so the origin story. So I've known Carrie and Dax for over 20 years. I think Dax for 21, Carrie for 20. And Dax wanted to do this 200-mile race. I didn't really know what he was doing, but he goes, dude, I'm flying up from LA. I'm gonna be in Washington. Will you be my crew for this race? And I was like, I'll be in town, why not? I've got not much else to do. So Dax flies up to my place and I drive him up and we're going on the Bigfoot 200-mile run. And Dax had wanted to do this as his end game goal because he watched Carrie's vlog on it 2 years before. So he trained for 2 years and he runs this 200-mile race. And as he is running this ultra, my job is to drive my pickup truck through these fire roads, back roads, and get to his next rest stop before he gets there so I can bring him his new shoes, if he needs them, socks, snacks, even though they had full like food setups. I had like the massage chair all set up ready to go, and Anyway, it was like an ultra for me with no sleep, literally, to be driving to these places, waiting for him, getting him going, pushing him out, and then like to win this race. And then I would hop in the truck and drive to the next one. I was driving like 4 or 5 hours at a time. So as I'm doing this, I'm like, you know what? Running this actually seems really fun because you get to see this stuff that no one else, you don't get to see it unless you're on these trails or you're like driving these random ass like fire roads that if you're crewing someone on the Bigfoot, you have to have a 4x4. Like I saw someone doing this in a Toyota Corolla and I was like, wow, that's badass. So anyway, Carrie was pacing Dax for part of the run.
Here's faithful Doug here.
Runners coming in.
He's coming in indeed.
How you doing, brother? You good?
Catch a few Z's?
No. No.
I'm not surprised.
Look, I'm filming him, he's filming me. What?
Contest.
Dax, brother, killing it, man.
Yeah.
One more little tiny little push right here, just down this hill. Heaters on.
Yeah. Look at that.
And I was like, you know what? I want to do an ultra, but I don't necessarily need to be a race. I just want to do it. And that's why Dax and I were planning to run Timberline, which is right in my backyard, and then Carrie got to join us, so that was awesome.
Then he called me. He's like, what do you think? Should I do the other 2 races? I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Jumping in the deep end with no life jacket and surviving. And coming out of the Triple Crown in a very healthy and respectable 2nd place to Mike McKnight, who just went up
Very
and
elderly and respectably
shredded all the courses and records, falling. Super impressive. So there's a sign back there. If we just added up the miles, first sign we've seen with actual distances, but 8.3, which puts us over 43 miles at the end of the day.
8.3 miles. That was like the common joke towards the end. We thought that was what was left, and it ended up being like 12 or 13 miles left. But it's like, how many miles left? 8.3. And we just kept saying that for a few hours. So grateful to the 8.3 joke for keeping it a little lighthearted. Because if you can't laugh through life or laugh through 43 miles with your buddies, what else can you do?
The sun just went down over the ridge.
So beautiful.
Mountain still has sun at the top. And we've got one more big valley to get through with a waterway charging through. I don't know how hard this one will be to cross, but I'm guessing better than some.
So Carrie Ward, your energy is freaking boundless. I don't know how you do it. When like I just keep trekking along and he's like, I'm gonna go climb that tree. Like, what? So Carrie, last time he did it, he came to stay with me and he ran this on his own, and it took him, I think it was 12 hours. So you can see the difference between like a professional ultra runner doing this in 12 hours and them helping me out and doing it in 21 and a half hours. So yeah, his energy is just above and beyond.
Sometimes you find a tree that you just have to walk up.
There goes Mr. Ward. He says, I'm gonna go until I feel comfortable, or uncomfortable, shall I say. My guess is that's a very long, long way. Do you feel uncomfortable? And ooh, ultra tree runner. Excellent. Excellent.
Take your moments. When the days go a little longer, sometimes you need to remember to appreciate what you got. Look at this. Look how pretty this is. Wow. Around every corner, another delight. Look at this. Wow. That's beautiful. What's that? We have reached Meadows.
Mount Hood Meadows is where I go snowboarding every year on Mount Hood. And when you're snowboarding the mountain, you don't realize how exceptionally big it is and how long it would take if you were to actually try and hike or run across laterally this ski resort. It's massive, and it just went on and on and on, and it's beautiful in the summer. I've always wanted to go hike it during the summer, but it was at the end of the run, so I didn't really get to appreciate it as much as go, oh fuck, it's a big resort. But if you're up in the summer or the winter, check out Mount Hood Meadows Ski Resort. It's my favorite place on the mountain.
Which is Doug's ski resort. So
Snowboarding resort.
we are walking on the trails. Ski lifts and snowboard lifts are empty for the moment.
So Carrie found this wand that we were saying looks like a Harry Potter wand. And in my new home build, I had bought this skeleton and a tie that looks like a Harry Potter tie. And we're gonna bury the magic wand with the skeleton and the tie under my stairs. So in the future, in 30 years, when I sell the house and someone like goes to remodel it, they're gonna find this skeleton under the stairs. And Carrie Ward carried this magic wand stick like for the last 8.3 miles. So thank you, Carrie, for bringing that home.
So what's your name?
I'm Dave Browdy.
Dave?
I did a run around this like you did with
Yeah,
a buddy of mine, and
So a lot of my friends are really well known in their genres. And we were getting to the end of Mount Hood Meadows, and these two guys are coming the other way, and they go, I know you. And they'd watched Carrie's run around Timberline before. One of the guys had also done the ultra. But it was really cool to see other people like recognize Carrie Ward on the trail. Be like, I've seen your vlog. If you haven't seen Carrie's vlogs, hundreds of thousands of hits, I'm sure you've seen it. But if you haven't, check out Carrie Ward. He's full tilt, and he does some amazing like running vlogging.
we watched your video.
It's actually, you know what? It's funny how often you're on a trail and somebody's like, I saw that, because that's what you look for, right?
Sure.
Hope you got something out of it.
It was good, yeah. We did. It was epic in beauty and adventure.
Well, today, this is my friend Doug's.
Oh, great.
He's never gone farther than 14, 15 miles in a day before, and we are at
18 hours and 59. Ooh, turning 19 hours.
Did you start at the lodge?
37 miles from midnight last night, yeah.
Where'd you start?
Lodge.
Oh, are you going to make it all the way back?
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, that's the deal.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're
crossing the White River.
Oh, is it kind of?
It's surging, so you got to wait for a.
Oh, really?
Right.
Oh,
I mean, there were boulders that big going right down the middle of it on a surge, just tumbling. It was unbelievable.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never seen it.
And you guys got pretty wet crossing it? or
No,
did you-
we were dry. You know,
You'll get it. Just find the right spot.
builds up.
But
We've been doing this all day, jumping across stuff. There's a couple of them that are a little exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I think we've all had one toe dip.
Yeah.
That was last night at
Gosh.
2 o'clock in the morning, 3
We
o'clock.
left at midnight.
Felt like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
in a hotel just
Good for you
testing the
guys.
pole out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, have a great time.
Hey,
Thank
thank you.
Great
You
to meet you
too. And your
guys.
name again?
Carrie
Carrie.
and
Nice to meet
Dave
you. Dave.
and
Joe.
Dave and Joe. Nice to meet you guys.
You too.
Have a great day. Can't get better conditions.
You bet. You as well.
It always feels good when someone's like, "Hey, we've seen you."
Yeah.
I would say the stuff I've done with higher elevation
Yeah.
has been because you can't breathe.
Yeah.
So here I can breathe. I just have to tell myself to keep going because that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
But it's been good waves, bad waves,
It's like surfing.
like surfing too. So when you're moving your body actively for 21 and a half hours, the most amazing thing is that if it's not at high altitude, in the last bunch of years, I've been pushing myself and doing high altitude trekking and climbing in Nepal and Peru and Africa, and it's hard to breathe when you're at high altitude. So the thought that kept going through my brain when I was on this ultra was, I can breathe, therefore I can keep going. Like muscles hurt, fine. Ankle hurts, fine. Shoulders hurt from the backpack, chafing, whatever, I can breathe, so therefore I can continue. And that to me was the most important mantra that was going through my head during this run.
We are out of the ski area into a beautiful meadows area. The light is just changing, and we've got this single track trail just sort of sunk in, about 18 inches wide, and a view of Mount Hood around many of the corners. So a lot of this trail, you can actually see Mount Hood Peak when it's clear from, look at that. It's just gorgeous. Sun just hitting it. We probably will need headlamps at the end unless we get that bright moon.
But the big lesson was enjoy the present. So on the trail, even I was like, oh man, my goal was to do this within 24 hours. And then it was like to the minute of 20 hours. And my goals kept changing, and the realization was just keep going. And when you get there, you get there. And it felt really good to have that. Like, one of the best things about going long distance in the wilderness is your brain just does its own thing. So I wasn't thinking about, day-to-day life. It was just like trying to reach a goal. And when that goal I saw wasn't gonna be possible, it was just enjoy that moment of putting one foot right in front of the other.
We are leaving the meadows and heading into the forest. Probably head down, another river to cross, another climb out. I think we've got a little under 4 miles to go. So, and we're moving pretty well. The pace right now is probably 20-minute miles. So, we should be back maybe just after dark.
So these guys that we had just met had said, hey, the next river is pretty dangerous. And my body was pretty wrecked, but there was this downhill section, and we ended up running, I think it was like 1.5 or 2 miles down. And it felt really good to be like actually jogging again. But in my brain, I was like, I don't want to cross the dangerous river in the dark. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I don't mind doing, but crossing rivers, especially in the dark, I'm not into that. So we're running and running and running. It's switchback. And we finally get down to the river, and we have to go another like 1/4 mile to get to the river, over this riverbed. And it was rough. And then you have to get down into the bank and then across and then up. And we're like, actually, that wasn't that bad. Until we saw that that was like the tributary of like the bad river. We made it across. It took a while to figure it out, and by this time it was like almost dark.
This is pretty impressive stuff. We've been running downhill for a while. Doug's doing his first ultra. We're 40 miles in, and we're running back towards the car. We got a river to cross, an embankment to get up. We probably have to descend to that river. So, been horrific dust on this trail. So whoever's in back, which is me at the moment, is just sucking in clouds of dust coming out your nose later. Well, this appears to be the ferocious White River, which is not so bad. Over there, maybe? Trying to find the simplest line across. Maybe this is it. And we are across. the trail. This rather challenging river, we get across right here probably, but you just can't get down. We're trying to get through this. This is our last real obstacle. So we can climb out here. See what he does. Well, it's only 4 inches deep, but that's all it takes to get your feet wet.
Whatever, we have a few miles left.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I just want to get away from you.
Yeah.
People are gonna fall on us.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're across. Wow. The most formidable obstacles we've had yet.
Oh, another one!
It's not that far now to the car. So Doug is going to make it. He has been through a lot today. Many low points, but he just kept going. A couple times he had to pull himself out, and he should be really proud of doing what he did today. This is not easy terrain. We're going to be covering between 42 and 43 miles probably. Almost 3 times farther than he's ever gone. And he did fantastically well. He did something probably 99.9% of people will never do. Go out and take that on in a day. What does it take? Well, in our case, it's 8:30, so we'll get up at 9, 21 hours. It'll be about 110,000 steps and very few breaks. Just you gotta keep going. And if you can do that once, then you know that you can survive the low points and just keep moving forward like he did today. The world suddenly opens up, the world of possibility. So, very proud of him. Good job, Doug. So this is the way to Timberline Lodge and the Barlow Pass, and we are actually on now the Pacific Crest National Scenic Trail from the movie with Reese Witherspoon and all that. Lots of people on that. Runs from Mexico to Canada and become more popular than ever. And we're in a little section of it. Probably one of the cool sections around here.
I always thought it was called the Pacific Coast Trail. And I was like, I would love to hike all the way up the West Coast, looking at the ocean the whole time. And that's not what it is. It's the Pacific Crest Trail. And if you haven't read Wild or seen the movie, it turned me off of this trail, honestly, because I don't do well in desert climates, and like, it made it seem like a really harsh hike that takes months. But part of Timberline is on this, and to me this is like a beautiful part of the Pacific Crest Trail. So you can do parts of it as you go, and the Timberline Trail is part of that.
Dax and Doug are loving this last sandy, relentless uphill.
Oh, I'm not fixing that.
No.
And then when we got out of there, we had to climb up the sand hill of hell that went forever. And walking in wet shoes through deep sand, uphill, and it just kept going. And my favorite photo, this is the photo that Carrie took of my legs on the way up, but it was a really rough climb up this hill, and it just went forever. But when we got to the apex of that climb, and we look up on Mount Hood, and we saw what looked like a tent, like a huge, like a wedding like size huge tent, lit up orange with these people like partying in it. We're like, what is happening on the mountain? I don't get it. And it was actually the harvest moon. The harvest moon was rising over the mountain and it looked like a wedding party on the mountain. And that was super cool. So yes, got to see the harvest moon at the end of this run.
Like herringboning up on a ski hill.
It's hard. We all touched the truck at 56 after. That's exactly 21 hours.
Doug's just commenting he wasn't quite sure that he knew exactly what he was signed up for here. But yeah, no problem. Walk all day.
I can see where I want to go.
You can walk for 24 hours.
Almost 24.
Yeah.
Sprained the ankle 6 times. I rolled it.
6 is our lucky number.
6 on the left, 1 on the right. 6 hits. 12 liters of water.
Which is just
The end is in sight.
is in sight for real sight, not far sight.
Oh, we got more.
There's always more.
There's always more. That's the ultra. What is that? Ultra tip number 272. There's always more.
So one of the ultra lessons that the guys were teaching me is that there's always more. Like you think you're there, you can see Timberline Lodge. It's like you can reach out and touch it, but you still have 8.3 miles to go. Like it just, there's no straight line. And part of the joy is going, I can still make it even though there's more switchbacks, even though you have to, you know, go up and over and down again.
Here it is, the final crossing. And he makes it nice and steady. Steady. And away we go. The last embankment up.
Cross the last barrier to the lodge.
I get people camping out, getting ready to do this tomorrow, I imagine. Campground. Wow.
This is where we turned off.
Sure. I think we could. Might be a look down. No, I think we keep going up. Yeah.
Did we turn off here though?
No.
It says Pacific Crest Scenic Trail.
Yeah, Timberline Lodge. This way.
Where's it say
Coming up.
This isn't about 29.
Well, no, you guys have unfinished business.
This is the road, and this
Oh, there's our finish walk.
is
Very watered.
the completion of the loop. Dude,
Carrie, thank you, Dax.
that was incredible.
Carry unfinished business.
Yeah,
Timberline
that was good.
was so much more than I was. That's really cool.
What an incredible trail. And
that
what?
That moon right now is too small for camera quality. We got a harvest moon coming up over that hill.
Look at Douglas, all in one piece. Talking about the moon.
30 AF, pains are no longer here. Really thirsty, as usual.
Doug is feeling a little verklempt.
This is something amazing.
It is something to
It
me.
was good people. Oh.
You did great today, Doug.
Oh,
You know what?
almost there.
Really, just
Oh, my light is
You
last
can
year.
hit a 7
Go
left.
Kogala.
Oh yeah, Kogala crushed it.
On the one battery. On the one
Hello.
tip.
I have to say that is a different
21 hours.
entrance.
And as we get back and we're passing the lodge and we see some people who are like spending the night there and they're going to leave the next morning, Kerry runs ahead and he sets up the GoPro to get the three of us. He comes back for us. We link arms and we're like walking arm in arm.
Have completed. Touch the truck and then
We 5, 6, 7, 8 and hit the truck. And I was like, done. 21 and a half hours, 43 miles. That was the Timberline Ultra.
Woo! Brother.
Oh, we're caught.
You did so well, dude.
Good job.
Very few people
Very few.
can get through something. I am proud of you.
How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah? Oh, he's waiting for that Gatorade. Oh my God. Dax ruined the Gatorade commercial.
Finally, thank you again, Kerry Ward, Dax Hawk. I love you guys so very much. Kerry, I'm glad you got the GoPro back so we could release this piece. And for anyone out there who's watching this Doug Shoe Diary piece or just this Timberline Ultra newbie piece, you can do an Ultra if you want. It's freaking awesome. Don't do it by yourself. It would have been very dangerous for me to do this on my own or with someone who is not experienced. So I'm very grateful to my professional Ultra champion friends who were willing to do this with me and have an amazing experience together. So you too can do it, and you just got to put your mind to it, and your mind can make your body do more than you ever thought possible. See you on the next one.